Welcome to After the Flag, live from Misano, where today we have crowned a MotoGP World Champion. It has been quite the day with so many stories, it's hard to know where to start. But first and foremost, Fabio Quartararo is the new MotoGP World Champion, and many congratulations to him. We'll be hearing from him at some point soon in a race where Ducati threw it all away. Repsol Honda 1-2 as well. I really don't know where to start. So we'll start.
We've got lots to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, let's just start off by going at the very beginning, at the start of the race. On the grid, Ducati 1 and 2, Pecco Bagnaia and Jack Miller taking the gamble, it seemed, or it certainly seemed like that, moments before the start of the race to go for the hard front. Were you concerned about that decision at any point?
Yes, but you know what? My genuine feeling is it was almost a masterstroke, you know, because it was the fastest way. Pecco, nobody could match what he was doing. Marc said the same. And it was just temperature-wise right on the limit. And they almost called it right. It's just the temperature dropped more during the race. And yeah, I actually caught up with Jack coming here. And he was really cool and open and said that, yeah, it was on the limit temperature-wise. He was following Pecco, and turn 8 is where you have to keep the temperature into the left-hand side. He said he was a little bit close to Pecco and didn't brake really hard going into turn 8. And then from turn 8 until where he crashed, you don't use the left again. And he said it obviously made the difference because the next time he turned left, gone.
And this is Pecco's crash as well, same sort of crash.
Yeah, and same place. It's exactly the same thing. The thing is, I thought, wow, Pecco's keeping the temperature in, really good, really he's going to win. And then, guys, I told you during the race, or just after the crash, the temperature came down. I was sitting on pit wall and got to the point where I needed my jacket. It wasn't there, but I was like, oh. And I'm sure that's what got Pecco at the end, just that extra few degrees drop. When the tyre was on the limit anyway, bang. Like I said, almost a masterstroke from Ducati, but turned out the opposite.
Almost. It was going perfectly up until that moment with Pecco Bagnaia in P1 and Jack Miller in second as well at the very start of the race. Ultimately, both of them falling at the same corner. The moment that Pecco Bagnaia went down, Fabio Quartararo was crowned world champion, immaterial of wherever he finished. And we'll talk about Fabio in a moment. What that did lead to, though, were two Repsol Hondas to finish first and second. The first time that's happened in 4 years, by the way, but we have to talk about Marc Marquez first. He's gone on to be victorious. He's won here, first win at a clockwise circuit. And okay, Pecco Bagnaia fell. Jack Miller fell. However, he kept the pressure on. It was a great start from him, and he got himself in the perfect position early on.
Yep. He did what Marc does so well, off the line, you know, get through to the right position. And then, like you said, at a circuit where Pecco is so strong, Ducati is really working well, he managed to keep the pressure on 90% of the race. You know, it was just falling off at the end there. He realised, he said to us, that he couldn't quite stay there, and bang, that happened to Pecco. So I said to him in Parc Ferme that what I genuinely thought was, it was my favourite ride of Marc's of the year. At a track that's not particularly his favourite, it's a right-hand track where he's brilliant at lefts, we know that. A right-hand track, and he was almost as fast as Pecco today, which was really impressive. So I don't know what else to say. Marc?
Ultimately, joining Marc Marquez on the podium here today was Pol Espargaro in second place, and Anzo Bastianini again came through from 16th as well, through to third. I believe Matt Birt is standing by. I'm not sure who he's with. He's actually with the world champion. Well, how about that? We're going to go straight down to him now. Fabio Quartararo is with Matt Birt.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve. I'm delighted to say I'm standing in front of our new 2021 MotoGP World Champion. The smile says it all. Fabio Quartararo. Fabio, unquestionably the best day of your life, certainly the best day of your racing life. Can you even begin to sum up your emotions right now after a truly memorable day? Huge congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much. I start to lose my voice already just 1 hour after, so I can imagine tomorrow morning. And yes, to be honest, feels so good. I have no I have no words. It's not the way I wanted to win because of Pecco crashing, but we managed to get a really great year. A lot of victories, podium, great result. I give it everything also to finish on the podium, but it was tough with our tires, but I don't care. I mean, we are world champion. I could finish last today and the feeling would have been the same, and I'm in the best moment of my career, and right now I don't even know what to say, so I don't know what to say.
How was the race? It was always going to be difficult from 15th place in the grid. It had been not an easy weekend with the changing conditions. So hard to keep yourself cool and relaxed and calm in that situation with the championship at stake, but it seemed like you managed the pressure incredibly well. You fought your way through the pack, you were patient, you didn't take a lot of risks. It looked like you managed the race incredibly well, given how much was at stake.
Yes, it was tough because I make a really bad start, and I never experienced to start in MotoGP on that back, and I think our front tire pressure goes so much up, and I couldn't brake. I had a lot of moments almost crashing, and to be close to the podium was amazing today. It was a new experience, and also with the pressure of the championship today, I was feeling really bad this morning. Let's say I had pain on the belly. Normally it's the first time that I had really difficult to eat before the race. So today was a big day, and today we managed to be world champions. So after today, I think the world champion from today will totally lose the pressure and enjoy the two last races.
Can you describe what it was like on that last lap? Of course, you were in an intense battle
Yes.
with Enea, but there you were fighting on the brink of the World Championship. You're emotional on that last lap, and what was it like when you came over the line as well? An explosion of emotion, I'd imagine.
Yes. It was an explosion, and also I tried to finish on the podium, to be honest, but our front tire was like a chewing gum at the end of the race, and Enea was much faster at the end. So, but I don't care. I mean, it was even better to go on the podium with all my family and all my crew. So was great, and no words.
Just talk about that moment as well. We saw you embrace your mum and dad before the race, before you went into the garage, and only they really know all the hard work, all the sacrifices that you've put in together as a family for over 20 years to get to this stage. I mean, we can see now there are tears coming into your eyes, Fabio. I mean, obviously, moments that you and your family are never going to forget, and like I say, an unbelievable reward for all your hard work, but their hard work too.
Yeah, it was important. Also, I wanted to have my family here because, I've been working a lot with them. My dad had a lot of sacrifices for me to race. My mom was at home alone, and my brother was helping me to train when I was a kid. So, it was great to have them here. I wanted to also have them in Portimao because was really not expected to win here from my side. So it's even better also to have them on the next races.
We could carry this into all night long, Fabio, but you've got some pretty important celebrations to go and start. Such an incredible day. Yamaha's first MotoGP World Champion since 2015, the first French rider in history as well to win in the Premier class. So huge congratulations, Fabio. Enjoy the celebrations. You've been the best rider this season. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic scenes then, Fabio Quartararo. It doesn't really look like it's sunk in just yet that he's become world champion, and I very much doubt that it will until a day or two has passed. I don't think even he expected it to be done today. Most people predicted Pecco to go on and be victorious. But full credit to Fabio Quartararo, Simon. From where he was on the grid, he did everything just about perfectly in that race.
Yeah, and then to hear him now say he's struggling with front tyre pressure, he was during the race. Oh, that must have been proper terrifying with all the pressure. And, I mean, he didn't expect it because Pecco was so good. And he's basically overwhelmed, isn't he, right now? And it's really nice to see because he has been fantastic. He fully deserves this championship this year. I mean, there's no doubt, right? There's no doubt.
No one can argue that.
So, big hug to him, and I hope he enjoys a look at him. Amazing. He is that boy. I say boy because my boy is only 2 years younger than him, and he's done so much at 22 to be world champion in this class with this field is quite stunning.
Incredible. Pol Espargaro on the podium here today, became the 15th different rider to be on the podium in 2021. He's ready to speak with Matt now. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve. I'm so delighted to see the massive smile back of this man in front of the camera right now. Pol Espargaro. Pol, we know it's been quite difficult, the adaptation over to the Honda this year, but finally, after the brilliant pole position in Silverstone, here you are on the podium. A Repsol Honda 1-2 as well for the first time since 2017. So talk us all about it, because you look incredibly happy, as we expect you would be.
Yeah, we said it before, this smile takes too much time to arrive. But it felt so good, mate. It felt so good after a tough season for sure. We had a lot of up and downs, some good races, but not so much, and very bad moments. I mean, a lot of bad moments. And finally, I didn't give up. I was pushing so much during all the year, working hard and harder and harder to try to get something else from it. Finally, like talking about me, about my ego, it's nice to be here as my best result ever in MotoGP with an Honda. It feels so good, but especially for Honda manufacturer, this guy have struggled so much with this COVID time. I know from my Europe manufacturer that I've been in the past, they were not struggling as Japanese ones, and finally to be 1-2 in one of the toughest season of Honda in the history, it just feels so good. It's just a bubble of oxygen for all of us, which is going to help us to work harder for next year to try to make this happening more often, a little bit more often.
Such a crucial part of this result today, though, was actually 24 hours ago in Q2. I heard you say it was super important to be in the first two rows here because it's a very tight first sector. You can get stuck in traffic, and that lead group have already gone. So how much importance do you put this result down to what you did in Q2 yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, I knew I had a good rhythm. I knew I could do it very fast during the race because on the test I was fast. But the problem is I'm not able to overtake at the beginning with full tank as easy as, for example, Marc do, because he knows much more the bike than me on the limit of that brakes, and I don't want to make a mistake at the beginning of the race because this is the worst thing that can happen on the race, especially if you have chance to do something great as today. So I was behind Miguel, and I saw these guys pushing at the beginning, and I said, no way. They were going so fast, and they were catching some gap to Miguel, and I was there just super behind Miguel. I knew I was faster, but I couldn't overtake, and I took too long. When I could overtake him, it was already late. They took me like 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds that I couldn't recover, and then I tried to focus on myself, to try set a rhythm. I was pleased with that fourth position, and I was just pushing, and then I saw the guys crashing, and wow, that was a little bit stressful. But anyway, by the end, everything went good, and I'm super pleased.
You have this never give up attitude, Pol, which we always like. At every lap you're giving 100%, even through the most difficult moments this year. So how much of a relief of pressure is this for you to get that first podium for Honda, and how much belief and confidence does it give you for the future? We know that Honda, they're not sleeping, they're working hard behind the scenes, but this must give you a lot of confidence and belief for the future.
Yeah, at the end, these moments at the end are the most important moments of a career of a rider, especially after this huge change in my sports career, this huge high target to go to one of the best teams in the world history, and just everyone looking at you, what you do with these colors, and you have no excuses now. You need to perform, and then when you are not performing, you have more fingers pointing at you, and then to go over that hole, it's super difficult, but finally, working hard at the end, the hard work pay off, and I will continue working because it feels so good to be here. So I can be used. I can be comfortable more times here in the podium. So I will try to keep doing it.
Well, you just said that you're in one of the best teams in the world, Pol. Today you reminded everybody that you really are one of the best riders in the world as well. Let's hope there's something strong to go with those Red Bulls.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I will fly for sure.
Cheers, Pol. Congrats.
Fantastic as ever to see that big booming smile on the face of Pol Espargaro, Simon. His first podium in Repsol Honda colours.
He is a very likeable fella, isn't he? I always love his debriefs, and I wouldn't miss the the chat with all three riders in a moment with you, the press conference, because he's always fun to listen to and so open, both brothers. You know what? He said it all, like how hard it is to come into that team and not perform, and the poor guy, like he's brave to take the move to be the teammate of Marc Marquez, and I really thought from the beginning of the year that he would do well. I thought maybe even he can get on the podium at the first one at Qatar, and the year for Honda has been terrible, isn't it? An absolute struggle, a battle, and you see their faces in there, and you're now seeing a glimmer of hope. They've both, for the first time, that new chassis has won a race, and first time it's gone on the podium, and they've got first and second. First time they've run it, Marc. And there's a glimmer of hope there, and I think they're on the way back. I think we'll see them back next year.
It looks like it, doesn't it? We're going to hear from Marc Marquez soon, but first we're going to hear from Emilia Bastianini. It's another podium here on home turf. This time he's done it from 16th on the grid. Down to you, mate.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve. Anzo Bastianini certainly likes to do things the hard way. 12th to 3rd last time out in Misano, 16th to 6th in Austin, and now 16th to 3rd here in Misano after 3 crashes in 8 laps yesterday. Anzo, how delighted are you to end the weekend with a podium?
Yeah, for me this weekend has been the most difficult of my life because I did 3 crashes in 8 laps yesterday, and my humor yesterday was a disaster, but today has been a fantastic day. It's a really strange race because with this cold was really different from Misano 1. But at the end, the last half part of the race, I was really fast. My paces was really nice, and it stayed possible for me recover some position. And at the end, I have see the possibility of try to go again on the podium, and I push all the best. And then at the end, in the last lap, I have overtaken Fabio. It's a really nice day for me and also for him because he's a world champion. And congratulations to him because I have did a very, very good season.
We knew you had the pace and the potential from Misano 1 when you came from 12th to 3rd place, but even more difficult today, starting 16th. Were you confident that you could be fighting for the podium, or were you expecting a much more difficult race?
No, I wasn't confident to arrive on the podium today. I'm still lucky because some riders are crash. But also I did a lot of overtaking. Rins, Zarco, Binder, Lecona, Petrucci. A lot of Quartararo, and incredible. I'm very happy for me and also for the job of the guys because yesterday I wasn't happy about my 3 crashes.
They had quite a late night last night, I'd imagine, but you repaid them a big style today, Anzo. Just talk us about that last lap as well, because Fabio Quartararo was already, of course, world champion with Pecco crash, but that was a pretty hard move at turn 14. It showed how much you wanted the podium.
Yeah, Fabio can be arrive in the 3rd place today because was really fast and also in the last lap. And I think, wow, it's difficult to recover the gap. But at the end, I was overtaking him. And also Pecco did a good race. He stayed unlucky because also he had put the hard on the front. But today, I think, wasn't a good choice. And I'm happy for me.
Huge congratulations. Another fantastic show you put on the fans here in Misano. And I enjoy the celebrations close by in Rimini tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, the hometown hero does it again, this time from 16th. As we mentioned already, there were a few people that fell in front of him, but he still had to do the hard work. I mean, this was some last lap. He was so fast through turns 11, 12 and 13. You just knew he was going to have a look into turn 14, Si.
Yeah, and one of the things you love about him is he's up for having a go at something like that. His enthusiasm, his aggression, I really, really like. But that is more common than the other thing he's got, and that is the ability to pull it off without crashing.
Yes.
Because a lot of guys would have a go, you know. They've got this special ability and self-belief and drive to have a go, but to pull it off at that level on such a, I mean, a last lap, all the pressure's on, it's against such a good opponent, he's got something special.
It's not a surprise to see a rookie necessarily on the podium twice in his rookie season, but on a 2-year-old Ducati, it's really does show his class, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, yeah, everyone knows that. And as Matt Birt pointed out, we're all looking forward to seeing him on good machinery next year. Well, a level above anyway.
Well, we just talked about Marc Marquez. It's a Repsol Honda 1-2. His first win on a clockwise circuit. Outstanding job. Marc Marquez is the winner, and he's with Matt now.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. It was an outstanding job by Marc Marquez. Marc, 735 days since you last won on a clockwise circuit, a long, long time ago. Japan back in 2019. This has been the win you've been waiting for. Sachsenring was special, Austin was special, but it looks like you are coming back to your brilliant best, the Marc Marquez of old. How important was it to get a victory on a predominantly right-hand circuit?
Yeah, I mean, it's much more important, this victory, than Austin, obviously. And as I said on Thursday, my target was try to be on the podium here or Portimao, because I say I need a podium to myself, to my feeling. I mean, I need a podium on the right corner circuit before finish the season. So we won. We won here in Misano, in a circuit that I didn't expect, in a racetrack, in a conditions, in a race pace that was incredible fast, but for some reason today was there. And you know, even like this, we were lucky because Pecco was a bit faster than us. And but when he pushed, I give up. But especially on that lap, when he pushed more and I give up, he crashed. So fortunately he's okay. But of course we take the profit of that crash, and we finished the race in a good way. Important for me was that also I was able to ride in my normal way the first half race. Then the last part of the race I start to feel something, I start to lose the weight to the front, and then I was not riding like I want. But even like this I was able to keep a constant pace, and yeah, we keep improving, and this is the best way to finish the 2021 season, to prepare well 2022.
Both of the Ducatis kind of took the risk of running the hard front tyre. We know how tricky it's been all weekend in the left-hand corners. We saw Jack go down in front of you at turn 15, Pecco in the same corner as well. Did it look like they were having some issues with the heat in the left-hand side of the tyre? Did you get a clear look at what happened to both of them?
I mean, it was a compromise. The tyre choice today was a compromise. It was the medium front, soft on the right side and good on the left side, or the hard option, good on the right side but too hard on the left side. And after yesterday crash twice times, I say, okay, I prefer to finish the race. I prefer to, even if the performance is not the best one, I prefer to finish the race. And the fact to start 7 on the grid give me or push me to choose the medium front, because I say I need to push a lot the first lap. And in fact, the first lap I start 7, but I passed 3rd. So it was a good race, but especially good first part of the race.
Well, just quickly, I mean, you talked about the wins in Sachsenring and Austin on anti-clockwise circuits, but this win here in Misano, I mean, you say, yeah, Pecco was a little bit faster, but you were the only rider that was able to run that pace and go with him. I mean, how much confidence does that give you that you are getting very, very close to being back to your old best?
Yeah, I mean, today, I mean, I was very happy because in the Misano one, I finished 4th, but 10 seconds from Pecco. And today I was able to follow second, to follow Pecco, and the third guy was 8 seconds behind us. So it's a big difference. It's like Misano is like Austin for me. I mean, it's Pecco Misano, me Austin. So I was very impressive and very happy the way that I ride and the way that I was able to follow Pecco. Say that it was an important day for us, blah blah, but it's not our day. Today is the day of the champion. It's the day of Fabio. It's the day of the fastest and most consistent rider of the year. So I want to congrats Fabio. and now it's time to work to fight against him, against the champion next year.
I just wanted to ask you quickly about Fabio. I mean, obviously you've been in this special position yourself, Mark. You know what it's like to win your first MotoGP World Championship, something that you riders spend your whole lives working for, so many sacrifices. What have you got to say about Fabio? I mean, obviously, huge congratulations. He has been the fastest and most consistent rider this year, and I bet you're looking forward to some good battles with him in 2022 as well.
I mean, of course, this year Fabio and Pecco were in another level, but Fabio was much more consistent. In fact, of speed, Pecco also was very fast in some racetracks, but Fabio was more consistent, and the way to suffer, he was able to suffer in a better way. So yeah, next year will be difficult, but obviously our target is fight for the championship. And to fight for the championship, the guy that everybody wanna beat he will be Fabio, because he's the champion. So it will be difficult, but we will try.
Mark, we look forward to that fight in 2022. Enjoy your celebrations in Misano tonight. Huge congratulations.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks very much, Matt, and thank you to Marc Marquez. Some nice words there regarding Fabio Quartararo. Such an important result for Marc Marquez, because even if Pecco had stayed on, it would have been a brilliant second place.
Yeah. I was so impressed with Marc's ride today. That's why I went to Parc Ferme and said to him that this is my favourite ride of yours this year, having no idea what he was going to say back or disagree. But he clearly sees this as a confidence step. You know, something important he had to do is win on a right-hand track. Well, at least race with the fastest guys on a right-hand track this year. And yeah, I have to say, I really admire Marc today. It was damn impressive, you know.
Before we finish on Fabio, because of course today is his day, we've been talking about Marc Marquez off air, and of course he's won in Sachsenring and he's won in Austin, and we've been trying to work out whether or not after a winter of rest he could still win the World Championship even if he's not fully fit. Does a result like today say yes, he can?
I'm sorry, Steve. I had something happen in my ear. What was it?
I was just going to ask you whether or not the result today maybe just confirms the fact that Marc Marquez can now fight for the World Championship again.
Sorry about it. Yes, definitely. I mean, that's why I'm saying I really respect what Marc did today, and with some progress from Honda, because that's been part of the problem for sure for all the Honda riders. I think HRC will fight back. Marc is growing in confidence, his strength's coming back, and yes, he will fight for the World Championship that year. I'd put some money on it.
Any idea what happened to Miguel? I've not obviously had a chance to catch up with KTM, but I mean, he was looking like he may well take that third place.
I'm sad to say, I did a couple of messages, but I hadn't got a response before we started talking, and I have no idea what happened to Miguel, because he's back as well. As Pit Buyer said to us on the grid, he is back. He's riding in his old confident self, you know. Both him, I think Brad was as well. His lap times were really good. Fall on the outlap, destroyed that, and have to start from pit lane. But yeah, we've got to find out what happened. Brad's will be the hard front, because he was on that. Caught him out. Miguel, I have no idea. I'm sorry, I'll go find out.
Okay, no, we don't know either. We didn't see anything. I think that's all we've got time for. Just one last word on Fabio Quartararo. I mean, Pecco has been brilliant this year. There is absolutely no doubt. But a flawless performance from Fabio after a year where things really did unravel, let's be honest, last year.
Yes, and I think part of that unravelling was Fabio not yet of the maturity he is now, which I'm really impressed Fabio managed to do that. Super. I've said that a few times. But also, I think the chassis didn't give him the confidence last year, and that's why he was getting rattled. So big thumbs up to Yamaha fixing that for Fabio, to give him the confidence that he could do what he did this year and have such a good, strong year. And when the bad ones weren't as bad because of Fabio's head and Yamaha's chassis. So big thumbs up to both of them. Impressive.
Well, here are some shots of Fabio celebrating, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more of that to come. That's all we've got time for in After the Flag. We've got a couple of big press conferences coming up shortly. Thanks for joining us here this weekend in Misano. Fabio Quartararo is the 2021 MotoGP World Champion.
MotoGP. Eyes on the lights, and away we go. Good start from Miller, really good start. He's going to go past Pecco Bagnaia, surely, into turn one. Coming through is Miguel Oliveira as well.
Stunning start by Miguel Oliveira on the factory KTM there. He's come through from 5th place into 2nd. It's not been the start that Fabio Quartararo needed. 15th to 17th for the World Championship leader.
Marc Marquez up the inside of Miguel Oliveira into turn 8. He goes up into 3rd place.
Miller's down, Miller's gone. Oh dear, Jack Miller has gone down turn 15, down out of 2nd place. Bagnaia versus Marquez.
All wide there from Malaysia Spyro. Here comes Fabio Quartararo. He picks him off, and he does move up into 5th. Oh no! It's game over! Fabio Quartararo is champion! He's blown it! Can you believe it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Fabio Quartararo is the 2021 MotoGP World Champion.